The alien ring hangs above a small red star. It turns without sound. No radio speaks. No ship lights blink. Only the slow beat of the star glows on its dark skin. Aaron moves first. He is calm and steady. He checks lines, checks oxygen, checks the way back. Maya follows close behind. She is quick and brave. She watches corners, watches vents, watches shadows. They are both 35 today. They have flown many missions. They have trusted each other many times. Their shuttle locks to a broken port. The door slides. Cold air waits beyond, thin like old paper. Dust floats in slow clouds. The floor is smooth and pale, like bone. Their boots touch down. A small echo answers, and then the ring wakes. A thin light runs along the walls. One line becomes 2, then 10, then a web. The path ahead glows. Aaron raises a scanner. No power source shows. No heat shows. The light is there, yet invisible to his tool. Maya taps her helmet once. He sees it too, the narration says in a soft voice. They both see what their tools do not. They go deeper. The hall opens to a round chamber. At the center, a flat floor. On the walls, shallow shelves like steps. In the floor, squares of glass. Aaron bends and brushes dust away. Letters appear under the glass. Not alien, human. 2 words and a number. After 35, Maya stills. Her breath is slow. She knows this font. It is old Earth, standard block. How is it here? How does an alien ring write like this? The chamber gives no answer. But a faint sound rises, very soft, like a music box in another room. Aaron stops. Maya turns her head. It is the same melody they both knew as kids. A small song from a school field. It should not be here. It is here. The light grows warmer. A low hum starts under their boots. Systems come alive one by one. Aaron lifts his wrist display. A clock appears without his command. 0035 zeros. It starts to count down. 35 minutes. The door behind them closes without a hiss. It is simply closed. He tries the door. It does not move. Maya taps a square tile with her glove. The glass blinks once. Under the glass, a picture shows a human ship leaving Earth for Mars. Another tile shows a family meal. Another shows a storm on the sea. 35 tiles circle the floor. 35 windows into human life. A quiet voice slides into their helmets. It is not male or female. It is not warm or cold. It is simple. Pair detected, it says. Clause 35 invoked. Prove trust. Prove bond. Gate will hear. Aaron looks at Maya. Maya looks at Aaron. The voice gives no more help. Aaron kneels. Tile 17 shows a school team fixing a broken antenna. Tile 18 shows a firefighter carrying a child. Maya touches 17. Aaron touches 18. Both tiles brighten. Their edges meet in a thin line. Together they make 35. The line on the floor continues to the far wall, and a small door opens there with a soft sigh. Before they move, Aaron's long-range scanner catches a new signal. It is sharp and cold. It is not human. It is Veer. A patrol somewhere near the ring has sent a ping. The Veer have hunted humans for years. They do not trade. They do not talk. They break and they take. If they reach this place first, the ring will become a trap. Maya straightens. He hears the danger. The narration says. She hears the clock. The timer shows 0:31:42. Time is falling. She steps to the open door. Aaron checks the room one more time. His foot slips. His glove scrapes a tile's edge. A thin slice opens in her suit finger as she catches him. One small drop of blood touches the glass. The tile drinks it. Light pours under the floor like rain. The cut on her finger closes at once, smooth as new skin. Aaron's breath catches. The floor does not react to one person. It reacts to both of them together, to their contact, to their shared act. He files that thought in his calm mind. She feels hope bloom in her bold heart. Words appear under the center tile. The letters glow in the old Earth style. When friends turn into forever, the gate will hear. Aaron reads it out loud. Maya reads it with him. The ring does not answer, but the floor warms a little. They move through the new door. A narrow hall climbs up, then opens into a higher chamber. Here they find two empty chairs that are not really chairs. They are frames of light and soft bands. Lines reach from each frame into the walls like veins. Between the frames, a tall pillar stands like a spine. On the pillar, the same words repeat in small symbols, not human this time, but close in rhythm. The quiet voice returns. Pair needed, it says. 2 or none. Choose. The timer shows 0:29:08. In the outer dark, the Veer ping grows brighter. Aaron stands by one frame. He places his hand on the band. It molds to his glove, then relaxes. Maya stands by the other. The band tests the shape of her arm and remembers it. They look at each other across the pillar. They have flown storms. They have fixed dying engines. They have shared rations and jokes in long night watches. Trust is not a big word for them. It is a habit. The voice speaks once more, softer than before. Compatibility, unknown. Begin. The band under Aaron's hand is warm. The band under Maya's hand is the same. The star pulses. The ring hums. The timer runs. He looks at one frame. She looks at the other. The ring has chosen 2. The 2 frames wait like calm animals. The pillar hums. The timer runs. E0:29:08. Aaron does not sit. Maya does not sit. They look at the bands. They look at each other. The quiet voice speaks again. Begin trial 1. Trust in dark. The lights die. They do not fade. They snap to black. No star glow. No suit HUD. No wrist display. No helmet map. Only breath. Only heart. Aaron stands still. He counts inside his head. 1, 2, 3. Maya taps her glove twice in their old pattern. He taps back twice. The floor under their boots turns soft like sand. The chamber has changed shape. She cannot see him. The narration says in a low tone, he cannot see her. But they are not alone. A soft scratch moves near the pillar. It is not metal. It is not the Veer. It is something the ring made. The voice comes thinner now, as if from the floor. Rule: 1 speaks. 1 walks. If both speak, the floor breaks. If both walk, the ceiling falls. Maya breathes out once. Her words are calm. Aaron, hear me only. Do not move, he answers with silence. That silence is his trust. A very thin thread touches Maya's boot. It is warm like a sunline. It runs across the floor and rises into the air. She lifts her hand. The thread rests against her palm. It shows a faint pulse like a heartbeat. Guideline active, the voice says. Speaker will lead. Walker will pass. Step right, Maya says. Her voice is simple. 3 small steps. Stop. Aaron moves as told. The floor feels like a bridge in fog. It bends, but it holds. He stops. The scratch sound passes behind him close to his heel. He does not turn. Left foot forward. Maya says. Half step, pause. They move like this. 1 speaks, 1 walks. The black stays total. The Veer ping grows nearer in Aaron's long-range set, even though his HUD is dead. He does not hear the number, but he feels the pressure of time. Last turn, Maya says. Kneel. Touch the floor with your left hand. He kneels. His glove finds a groove shaped like a handprint. It fits him. The ring drinks his heat. The lights snap back. The chamber is new. A ring of thin bridges hangs over a deep shaft. He is on one bridge. She is on another. Between them a gap. Below them, moving gears like slow rivers. The 2 frames are gone. The pillar is a tall prism now, full of turning letters in alien script. The quiet voice is clear again. Trial 1 complete. Bond strength 61%. Begin trial 2. Trust and wait. A slab rises between the bridges. It holds 2 objects, a heavy cube and a small glass egg. 2 buttons glow under the slab, share and keep. The rule is simple, the voice says. You press without talking. You must press the same word, share or keep. If you match, both live. If you do not match, 1 falls. Maya looks at Aaron across the gap. She does not speak. He looks at her. He does not speak. Their old missions whisper in their heads. Ration split, extra battery given, last seat given. He knows what she will choose. She knows what he will choose. They look down once at the gears. They look up again. They press. The slab blinks. The buttons lock. The cube dissolves. The egg glows. The bridges join with a soft click. Match, the ring says. Choice, share, bond strength, 74%. The egg opens like a flower. Inside is a bent strip of metal, dull and old. It holds a number scratched by a human hand, 35. A music box note plays, the same childhood melody from part 1. It is not a trick. It is a memory saved by someone who came long ago. Aaron and Maya step together. The prism above them spins faster. The letters change shape until they become earth blocks again. Begin trial 3, trust in truth. The bridges slide away. A wall rises between them. They cannot see each other now. Only the wall, the voice, the timer. 0, 23, 12. A slot opens in each wall side. A simple question appears for each of them. It is not about science. It is not about ships. It is about each other. For Maya, when did he first break a rule to save you? For Aaron, when did she first forgive you for a mistake? They must answer. If they lie, the wall will know. If they hide, the wall will close forever. The ring is not testing data. It is testing the shape of a bond. Maya speaks first. The storm on Helios outpost, she says. He cut the lock on the emergency pod. He took the fine. He took the blame. He saved me, Aaron speaks next. Titan Station, Orange Bay, he says. She said, we fixed the engine first. We fixed the feeling after. And she smiled. She forgave me then. The wall listens. The wall warms. 2 soft charges pass through the metal, like 2 hands touching a door from both sides. Truth detected, the ring says. Bond strength, 86%. The wall drops. They are face to face again. The prism calms. The gears slow. But the veer ping is sharp now. It is close. It is hunting. The floor shakes. Thin harpoons strike the outer skin of the ring. The chamber lights flicker once. Maya tilts her head, listening to the distant metal scream. Aaron's jaw tightens. The voice speaks faster now. Final trial for this stage. Trust in loss. The prism splits and becomes 2 small tables. On each table rests a clear disc. Inside each disc, a bright thread moves like smoke. One thread pulses in Aaron's color trace. The other thread pulses in Maya's. A line of simple text appears. To move forward, one gives a skill. One gives a memory. Choose without words. They do not want to lose anything. They have earned every skill. They have fought for every memory. But the ring asks for a gift, not a price. If one gives skill, they can relearn later. If one gives memory, it may never return. Aaron thinks fast. He is the system's mind. He can rebuild methods. He can write processes again. Maya is the spark. She holds the story of people. She keeps hope alive. He sets his palm on the disc marked skill. Maya watches him. She understands at once. She will not let him carry all the weight. She sets her palm on the disc marked memory, but she chooses a small one. Her fear of open water, a fear that slows her in certain tasks. It is still a memory, but it is a chain she can break. The discs drink light. Aaron feels a map vanish. One neat trick he made with power relays. He feels the gap and accepts it. Maya feels a hush where a cold lake once lived in her mind. She breathes out, lighter than before. Gift accepted, the ring says. Bond strength, 92%. Threshold for core, 95%. New doors bloom around the shaft like petals. Down in the dark, the veer-cut tools bite harder. A red warning crawls across the prism. External breach in 7 minutes. The timer shows hour 07, count. A narrow bridge shoots toward a far door. The quiet voice drops to a whisper, as if the ring itself is holding its breath. 2 more points pair. Prove the last measure. The core is waiting. Aaron looks at the door. Maya looks at the same door. Their steps match without a word. They run. The bridge shoots them into a narrow spine of the ring. Pipes sing, panels tremble. The timer on Aaron's wrist flickers back on. 0:06:51, he runs. She runs. The floor tilts under their boots. A door hisses open by itself. A blast of hot air hits their faces. Inside, a round room turns like a slow drum. In the center sits a black wheel with many spokes. Above it, 3 pale cylinders hang in cages of light. The quiet voice returns, thinner now, like it speaks through dust. Stage 3. Trust in making. Power drop active. Oxygen at 64%. External breach approaching. The lights dim to a sick blue. Their suit readouts go red. Oxygen scrapes in their throats like dry paper. Aaron steadies his breath. Maya counts in her head. 1, 2, 1, 2. He scans the wheel. Flywheel, the narration says. Old design. Good heart. It stores energy. It can give it back if someone wakes it with the right rhythm. Maya tugs open a side panel. Wires curl like vines. She finds 2 broken ports and a dead fuse. He sees patterns, the narration says. She sees paths. They do not waste words. Aaron unclips a spare tether and a tool line. He loops the line around a spoke, testing friction. Maya pulls the spare battery from her suit, small and stubborn, not meant for this. She clicks it into a wrong place on purpose, then bridges it with a strip of the dull metal they won in Part 2. The strip etched with 35. The strip hums like a faint bee. The voice objects. Warning, improper. Shh, Maya says to the ring itself. Let us try. Aaron plants his feet. He pulls. The spoke rolls. He pulls again, slow and even, the way his father taught him to lift an engine block. Not with force, with timing. The wheel answers. It drinks the tiny battery spark and begins to store. Maya uses her weight as a counter. She pulls, let's go, pulls, let's go. The tool line sings in small notes. 06, 07. Oxygen, 58%. A second alarm opens somewhere above them. The cages of light around the 3 pale cylinders flicker and go dark. Their metal skins show through. On each cylinder, small windows glow like eyes. Inside the windows, shapes float. Seeds, tiny and strange. Some like snow, some like sand, some like curled stars. Archive seed vault, the voice says. Clause 35, compassion trial. Choose. Root power to life support or root power to the vault. Root both will fail. Maya stares at the windows. The small things inside look asleep. Maybe they are from old friend species. Maybe from a lost enemy. They are still life. Aaron meets her eyes. He knows her choice. She knows his. But they cannot let themselves die. They need to save both, or none of this matters. He studies the wheel, the pipes, the floor, hum. The ring is old, but it loves rhythm. He can feel it. The whole spine wants a certain beat. If they give it a clean wave, the wheel can both charge and spill, like a heart that pushes blood on the rise and feeds the brain on the fall. Pendulum run, he says, simple and low. Maya nods once. No questions. She sets the 35 strip like a bridge between 2 ports, then uses 4 spare coins from her kit as tiny shims to change the angle. She has done things like this in bad rooms, in bad nights, make a bridge from almost nothing. They start the wave. Aaron pulls on the 1-2. Maya releases on the 2-3. The wheel takes the small battery spark, swells it, and gives it back in a gentle offbeat to a second line that she just made. On the rise of the wave, the life support sips. On the fall of the wave, the vault sips. Not full power, but enough to hold both. The voice goes quiet for a breath, as if the ring is thinking. Unorthodox route, it says at last. Acceptable. Life support at 41% and rising. Vault temperature stable. Oxygen feels round and soft again, not sharp. Maya smiles with her eyes. Aaron lets himself breathe a bigger breath. The wheel keeps turning in their rhythm. The strip marked 35 glows a little brighter, like it approves. So 4:58, the far wall shutters open. A screen appears grainy and pale. On it, the outside of the ring shows in ghost color. Black darts move around it, small and mean. Veer. 3 boarding hooks snap against the skin. Sparks fly like insects. The ring trembles. External contact, the voice says. Boarding party, 3 units. Time to breach, 4 minutes. Maya checks the room for tools that can be thrown, cut, bent. She finds a long bar, a coil of cable, a flask of coolant. Aaron keeps his hands on the line, feeding the wheel their wave. He will not stop their heart while the vault still needs them. The ring's screen changes. Not outside now, inside. A corridor not far from them. A door marked with small symbols like the ones in the prism. The door opens on its own. Beyond it, a small chamber waits with 2 chairs of light. The frames from Part 1 brought here ahead of them. Core seats, the voice whispers. Threshold remains 95%. Current bond 92%. They need 3 points. The ring is fair but not gentle. New text scrolls under the screen. Trial, trust in future. Your wave holds both life and life. But you must add 1 more weight to your making. Risk. A square panel slides up by Aaron's knee. A slot opens for his tool line. Another slot opens for Maya's spare battery. If they lock the line and the battery into the panel, the wheel will run itself in their rhythm. It will keep feeding both systems until their battery is empty. They will lose their last backup. No extra spark for later. Aaron looks to Maya. Maya looks to Aaron. She raises her hand. 3 fingers up, share, risk, live. Their old sign, he nods. They push the line into the slot. They slide the battery in. The panel seals with a tiny click. The wheel keeps moving without them, singing their beat. Gift observed, the ring says. Bond strength, 93.4%. The floor under them shifts, gentle but firm, turning their bodies toward the exit. Go, the voice adds, almost like a friend. I will keep the wave. They run again. They move low and fast like they practiced in ship drills. At a T-junction, the ceiling drops a shower of silver threads. The threads twitch like hair. Maya stops Aaron with a palm to his chest. Wait, her eyes say. She steps forward alone and moves her hand through the threads very slowly. They cling to her glove like cobwebs, then relax and turn toward her, forming a clear path. She remembers a field full of spider silk, summer morning, 10 years old. She was not afraid then. She will not be afraid now. Adaptive feelers, Aaron says. They read fear. She goes first. He follows close behind, calm like a flat lake. The threads part for both. 3/31. They drop into a low-maintenance tunnel. Pipes run on both sides. Valves glitter with old frost. The air tastes like metal and old lemons. The tunnel shakes. A sharp bang hits the left wall. Something claws at the skin of the ring from outside. The tunnel ends at the door they saw on the screen. The same small symbols shine on it. The same music box note rings once. The door scans them with a soft line of light. Pair confirmed. The voice says, final micro trial. Trust in listening. The door does not open. Instead, 2 small plates slide out, one for each of them. On each plate, a single earbud grows from the metal. They must put them in. They do. The ring hum fades. The tunnel's noise fades. Even the timer fades to a soft whisper. They hear voices. Not the archivist. Not the Veer. It is their own voices, old and young, small and strong, all the times they chose each other. The outpost storm. The Titan Bay. A long night over Mars when her hand found his, and they did not speak. The ring plays not the facts, but the rhythm of those moments. Name the pattern, the test says in their ears. Not the words. The pattern. Aaron speaks first. We choose together first. We fix the world second. Maya speaks next. We do not trade each other for speed. The door breathes open like a lung. Their earbuds melt back into the plates. The tunnel noise returns. Distant bangs, rising heat, the thin squeal of wire claws near the next bend. Bond strength, 94.6%, the ring says. Core seats unlocked. They step into the core chamber. It is tall as a chapel and clean as a lab. The 2 light frames wait on a round platform. Between them stands a narrow column with slow water moving inside it, as if the ring holds a small river upright. Symbols drift in the water like leaves. A shadow slides across the far wall. Aaron lifts his head. He sees what made the shadow. A Veer unit stands in the doorway, thin and hard, with 3 magnet feet and a cutter like a tooth. Behind it, 2 more shapes crowd the hall. Their lights blink like angry eyes. They move without the small pauses that humans make. They do not breathe like humans. They do not wait. Maya takes 1 step toward the frames, then stops. The first Veer raises the cutter. The column answers with a ripple of water, like a warning. The archivist speaks. Not thin now, not soft. Clear. Clause 35 allows no invader in the core. Pair, choose, begin link and hold the room, or fight and lose the doors. The timer shows 00.02/12. Aaron meets Maya's eyes. He sees her answer there, steady as always. He points to the left frame. She nods to the right. 2 humans. 1 plan, they move. The first Veer leaps cutter bright. Maya kicks the coil of cable she brought from the spine. It whips across the floor and snags the Veer's front foot. Aaron yanks a valve handle from the wall and throws it like a ring. It hits the cutter arm and knocks it wide. The spark cuts empty air. Begin link, the voice says. They fall into their frames at the same time. Bands rise like soft hands. The column water brightens. The symbols inside it align into straight paths. Compatibility, 94.6%, the archivist reports. Threshold 95%, not met. The second Veer pushes into the room. The column makes a new sound now, a deep tone like a bell under the sea. The bands tighten around their arms. The light warms. Emergency measure available, the ring says. 1 minute wager. One voice speaks for both. If the other yields completely, bond rises by 0.6%. If the yield is not true, link fails. Choose. Maya looks at Aaron across the river of light. She knows the choice before he does. He knows the choice at the same time. She nods once. Take my voice. He shakes his head, small. No, take mine. The third veer crawls over the wall like a spider. The cutter flares again. The timer hits 0001.39. The core smells like hot metal and new rain. 2 humans breathe in. 1 human begins to yield. The cutter screams. The core shakes. The timer shows 00.0139. Aaron closes his eyes. He lets go. I yield, he says. His voice is steady. One voice, hers, bands warm around his arms. The column of water brightens. Symbols inside it turn like small fish and then line up into paths. Yield received, the archivist says. Test of truth begins. If yield is not true, both burn. If yield is true, bond rises plus 0.6%. Maya feels the change. Her thoughts sit in the front seat now. Aaron's thoughts move to the back seat, quiet and calm. He does not push. He does not guide. He is present like a hand on her shoulder, not on the wheel. The first wire crawls fast along the wall. The ring answers with a clear tone. A ripple of force lifts the wire and throws it against the door frame. It sticks there, teeth deep in the metal, still cutting. Inside the bands, darkness becomes a long hallway of soft light. The forever link is not a cable. It is a path. 2 shadows walk on that path, one in front, one behind. The one in front is Maya. The one behind is Aaron, hands open, eyes kind. Step 1. The archivist whispers inside the link. Breath, 1 rhythm, no lead. Maya breathes in. Aaron breathes in with her. She breathes out. He breathes out with her. The hallway widens. The ceiling lifts. A soft river begins to flow along the floor. The same water as the core column, but smaller, like a stream. Step 2, the archivist says. Mirror, 1 shows weakness, 1 does not fix. A mirror grows from the air. It shows Maya at Titan Station, Orange Bay. She is tired. She hides a shake in her hand. She made a small mistake that day, and the mistake cut a wire and cut her pride. Aaron sees it. He can fix it with words. He does not. He only stands with her as he stood then, and lets her own calm return. The mirror melts. Truth of yield. Holding. The archivist reports. Metal claws hit the floor outside. In the real room, the second veer lands. Smooth and cold, cutter forward. The column sings 1 more time, higher now. A circle of force rolls across the floor like clear wind. It does not kill. It pushes. The veer skids back, feet scraping, lights angry. Step 3, the archivist says. Gift, 1 memory from the speaker. 1 memory from the yield. Both must be free, not forced. Maya sets her palm on the stream. A picture floats up. A black lake under a dull moon. Her child fear of open water. She already gave that fear in part 2, and the link feels it. The stream nods, like water can nod. Aaron sets his palm on the stream. A picture floats up. His neat relay trick for a failing reactor. He lost that skill in part 2. He could pretend it is still there. He does not. He shows the gap and does not flinch. Accept it, the archivist says. Truth of yield, true. Bond, player 6%. Compatibility 95.2%. Threshold met. The core wakes. Light grows under their boots, soft first and then strong. The bands fold across their chests and temples. The column water leaps inside its glass like a living thing and then becomes very calm, very clear. Symbols settle into lines and circles like a map of invisible roads. They feel it the same second. A third voice. It is not Aaron, it is not Maya, it is both. It is 1 clear chord, the veer rush again. The doorframe breaks. Sparks jump like small stars. Forever engine online, the archivist says. The voice sounds proud. Aaron and Maya look at each other across the column. They do not speak. They do not need to. The third voice speaks for them, simple and full. We move as one. The world widens. The ring is no longer rooms and pipes. It is a body. Aaron feels mass drivers like bones. Maya feels field coils like muscles. Together they feel the star's gravity like a tide under skin. They can pull. They can lean. They can sing against it. Clause 35. Meaning request. Maya thinks. The thought turns into words in the third voice. The archivist answers. After 35 is many things. 35 tiles. 35 minutes. 35 acts of trust measured across a life. At age 35, many minds are no longer young. They choose not for thrill, but for worth. The gate listens most at that age. It hears the strong quiet. Maya smiles. Aaron's chest warms. The truth is not romance. It is not command. It is this: chosen trust. External units, 3. The archivist reports. More ships at long range. The third voice focuses. The link shows a simple plan in clean lines. Vent 3 side halls to push. Veer units away without crushing them. Freeze cutters by. Dumping coolant along the floor at a new angle. Shift the ring's orbit by a small degree to stop the boarding. Hooks from finding hold. Keep power to seeds and air by riding the wave they made in part 3. Do it, the third voice says. Vents open with soft sighs. Air moves like a firm hand. The Veer slide back into the corridor, legs scratching, cutters spitting empty light. Coolant flows in a silver fan and coats their tools. The cutters choke and go dark. The boarding hooks on the ring's skin lose angle as the mass drivers push a little. Not a big push, a smart one. They do not kill the boarders. They do not have to. Measured force, the narration says. Human style. The link tightens in a good way. Aaron's calm feeds Maya's speed. Maya's spark feeds Aaron's map. They learn each other's edges without cutting. The third voice grows steadier. A new screen opens above the core unasked. It shows space behind the Veer units. A larger shape moves there, long and flat like a knife that learned to fly. The flagship charging, the archivist says. Spinal beam in 4 minutes. 4 minutes is a lifetime and also nothing. Maya's hands curl in the bands. Aaron's jaw sets. The third voice stays even. We can shield a convoy, it says, if we use the mass drivers as a field ring. But we need more power. The archivist shows options as icons. Drain seed vault. Fast. Cruel. Drain life support. Slow death. Catch star pulse. Hard. Clean. They choose the third before the icons finish forming. Star pulse in 2 minutes 30. The archivist says. Risk medium high. If timing fails, ring heats and falls. Maya can feel the pulse coming like a drum far away. Aaron can see its math like numbers in rain. Together they can meet it and drink it, then turn it into a shield. But the Veer flagship will not wait. It turns its cutter beam nose toward a human convoy far out, small ships like dots on a line. The third voice speaks to the ring like to a friend. Hold the wave. Hold the seeds. Open the mass drivers to half. When the pulse hits, give us the line. Accepted, the archivist says. The voice is clear and bright now. You are the first pair in many centuries to ask for the clean path first. The first Veer pulls free from the door frame. It comes again, slower now, blades frosted. It tries to creep along the ceiling. The ring lets it, then raises one little bump in the metal that touches its front foot and makes it slip. It is almost gentle. Maya laughs under her breath. Aaron feels the laugh and it feels like light. The timer slides to 00:52 for the room breach. The Veer still push. The flagship still charges. The star still swells inside itself, ready to beat. The third voice calls softly to both of them. Ready. A memory stirs in Maya, the school field, the small song. A memory stirs in Aaron. The first time he cut a lock to save a friend. The link does not erase them. It places them side by side like two pictures on one wall. This is forever. Not a cage, a chorus. After 35, the archivist says, almost like a prayer. Friends who choose become more than two. The pulse rises. The ring hums in its bones. The water in the column stands very still. Here it comes. Aaron thinks. I feel it, Maya thinks. They think together. Now, the star's pulse hits like a deep drum. The mass drivers drink it. The shield begins, above the core. The flagship's beam coil spins up to bright white. The Veer in the door finally finds footing and leaps. The column flashes. White becomes sound. Sound becomes force. The star's pulse hits the ring like a deep drum. The mass drivers drink it and sing. The shield rises, thin at first, then strong like glass. The water in the core column turns clear as ice. Symbols lock into a steady wheel. Shield at 71%, the archivist says. Rising, Aaron and Maya feel the ring as a body. Coils are muscles, rails are bones, air is blood. The third voice inside the link is calm. Hold the wave, it says. Protect seeds. Protect breath. Outside, the Veer flagship glows. Its beam throat brightens to white. Inside, 3 Vire units claw over the core threshold again, cutters dead from frost but arms still hard. The ring chooses a soft defense first. It tilts local gravity by a hand's weight. The Veer stumble. Maya adds a side wind from vents above the door, just enough to push, not enough to break. Aaron lifts a floor tile by 2 fingers high. The lead Veer's front foot catches and slides. It slams into a wall and sticks there, not damaged, only stopped. Measured force, the narration says. Human style. The flagship sends a test lash. A thin line of energy touches the new shield. It makes a clean tone like a crystal glass, then fades. The human convoy far away does not burn. Not yet. Shield 78%, the archivist reports. External board 6. Hooks 9. Orbit drift 002. The ring slides toward the star by a hair. The star does not mind. The ring must mind. Aaron feels the drift in his bones. Maya feels heat creep along the skin of the habitat band. The third voice thinks fast. Open attitude jets, C and F, it says. Pulse them on the offbeat. Use the star tide like a friend. Jets hiss. The ring steps sideways in space, small and clean. Hooks grind against the skin and snap. 2 Veer outside spin into the night like lost nails. 4 remain. The corridor shakes. The core holds. The 3 Vire inside change plan. They stop pushing the door. They run for a service hatch high on the wall. They want the coil room. If they cut field lines there, the shield dies. Maya sees the path. Areen sees the angles. The third voice draws a simple picture in their minds. A circle of air, a quick cold, a trip point. Cyclone Gate, Maya names it, soft and sure. They build it in seconds. Aaron opens 2 vents at floor level and 1 at ceiling level on the left. Maya opens a matching set on the right. The air begins to turn, slow at first, then fast like a river that finds a bend. Aaron slides the coolant line into the spin. Maya lifts the floor by 1 finger at the hatch mouth. The Veer leap. The cyclone catches them and moves them sideways, not back. It carries them past the hatch and into a clean corridor where the floor tips toward a safe lock closet. The lock closes like a careful mouth. The Veer inside bang once, twice. It is loud but not cruel. Internal borders contained, the archivist says. No fatalities. Good, the third voice answers. Keep them alive. Keep us human. The flagship brightens again. This is not a test lash now. This is a real cut. Spinal beam in 2 minutes. The archivist warns. Shield 82%. Wave stable. Life support green. Seed vault green. The ring trembles in a new way. It is the star. The pulse was the drum. Now comes the flare. A hot wind of particles that shoves like a giant thumb. The shield loves the energy, but the orbit loves the wind too much. Orbit drift 0.07, the archivist says. Falling. Aaron sees the long math. If they drink too much, the ring grows heavy with heat and drops. If they drink too little, the shield dies and the convoy burns. The third voice decides. Feather the drivers, it says. Half-open ports, quarter-length burst. Push against the star, not away from it. Ride the tide, do not fight it. They do it together. Mass drivers stop being a wall and become a hand. The hand slides along the star's wind and finds a sweet spot, a small calm in the storm. The orbit drift slows, 0.03, the archivist says. Holding, screens bloom above the core. 1 shows the convoy, 6 small ships and 1 slow freighter. The freighter sends a faint ping. The name flashes in block letters. Lark. A little bird in a big storm. Maya's heart squeezes. She feels the people inside those dots. Aaron's jaw tightens. He feels the plan forming like a bridge. They need more shield, not less. They need 1 more drink from the star. But the wave to the vault must not fail. The life support must not fail. Their spare battery is already locked in the panel. They cannot take it back. The third voice calls to the ring. Archivist, it says, what is under us? Under the core? The archivist answers. A storage wheel. Dead tools. A bed of iron sand. Iron sand, Aaron thinks. Mass. Pattern, Maya thinks. Ring inside the ring. They see it the same second. They can spin the sand as a short-term flywheel. Not like the big one, but quick and dirty. It will eat torque and spit it back for 1 long breath. Enough to thicken the shield at the exact moment of the beam. Do it, the third voice orders. Panels in the floor jump open. The sand pours into narrow rings that hug the core like bracelets. They spin up with a bone-deep buzz. The column water ripples once and then stands very still again. Fly brace active, the archivist says. Heat margin thin. Watch your numbers. The Veer outside do not wait. They send a second hook. It lodges near habitat band 4. If it holds, the flagship can pull the ring off balance. Aaron flicks a valve. Maya snaps a vent. The ring exhales along the band in one wide cough. The hook loses bite and skates away, dragging a shower of sparks that look like fireflies. The core lights dim. The star's flare lifts. The shield swells to a clear dome, tight and bright. Shield 89%, the archivist says. 90 possible at peak. Beam in 50 seconds. Inside the link, the third voice gathers them closer. It feels like standing shoulder to shoulder on a cliff. Wind in their faces. See below? Maya's hands rest in the bands. Aaron's feet press into the floor. They do not think about glory. They think about work. Hold the breath. The third voice tells the ring. Keep the seeds cool. Keep the rooms kind. Give us the peak when I say the word. Ready. The archivist answers. The storage wheel creaks like an old ship. The sand rings glow a little at the edges. Heat climbs the walls in thin veins like warm ivy. 20 seconds, the archivist says. Aaron feels the beam path like a bright line. Maya feels the convoy like small hearts. The third voice holds both, not equal, but together. 10, the archivist says. A new sound arrives from far away, faint and brave. It is the convoy. Someone on the lark sings into a bad mic. A little tune. The same one the ring played when they first came. Childhood melody, field and wind. It wears no fear. It is simple. It is human. Maya smiles with her eyes. Aaron nods without moving. The third voice steadies. 5, the archivist says. Outside, the flagship opens its throat of white. The beam gathers like a spear of noon. 4, the ring pulls the last calm drop from the star. The shield thickens until it hums. 3, the iron sand rings whine. 2, the veer and the lock closet bang one more time and then go quiet. Like they too can feel the size of this breath. 1, now, the third voice says. The ring gives them everything. The shield blooms to 90% and holds its round shape. The star wind hits it and curls. The fly brace spins hot. The mast drivers press a line exactly between the convoy and the beam throat. The flagship fires. A white spear crosses the dark. It hits the shield and the shield rings like a bell underwater. The first ring does not break. A second ring forms inside the first and a third, waves inside waves. The spear splits into sheets of light and slides off to both sides like rain that hits a window and cannot come in. Deflection 67%. The archivist says, voice tight, remainder still hot. Impact on Lark in 3 seconds. The third voice makes a small change that feels large. Aaron lifts the mast drivers by the height of a hand. Maya tilts the shield by the width of a book. The remainder glances. It misses the heart of the freighter and scorches only skin. Plates glow red, then cool. Convoy intact, the archivist reports. Lark alive, the core does not cheer. There is no time. The fly brace shudders. Heat climbs. The orbit slips again. Orbit drift 0.12, the archivist warns. Falling hard, the ring has saved others. Now it must save itself. Aaron feels the weight in his ribs. Maya feels the burn on her skin. The third voice stays level. We need to throw mass, it says. Lose weight. Not seeds. Not air, panels. The archivist shows a map. 35 outer plates on the dead side of the ring. Old, cracked, heavy. Drop 33, Aaron says. Drop 35, Maya says. The third voice chooses the human way. Drop 34, it says. Keep one. A promise of return. Latches bang along the ring's skin like a rolling drum. Plates lift and fly outward like dark leaves. The ring jumps lighter. The orbit catches itself on the star wind like a bird that finds a rising current. Orbit drift 0.01, the archivist says. Stable. The flagship charges again. Not as bright, not as clean. It is angry now. Angry beams are less accurate. Second shot in 90 seconds, the archivist says. Enemy boarding wing 12. The lock closet opens and slides the 3 trapped veer into a safe pipe that leads to an outer air cell. The cell seals and marks itself with a soft icon. Return later. The ring does not kill prisoners. Maya breathes out. Aaron breathes in. The third voice weighs cost and gain. Heat remains high. The fly brace slows. The wave to seeds and air holds, but only because their battery sings its last note. Battery empty, the archivist says. Wave now fed by star pulse alone. Good, the third voice says. We knew it would end. We made it count. The core is a heart. The ring is a body. 2 humans are one mind. Aaron feels numbers like rain. Maya feels motion like music. The third voice inside the link is clear and steady. Second beam in 90 seconds, the archivist says. Shield 73% and rising. Orbit stable. Heat margin thin. The flagship turns cold and sure. Its throat glows again. Plan, the third voice says. Make a halo, bend the beam. Throw it into the star. The archivist pauses, then answers. Possible. Risk high. Halo needs mass, shape, and timing. Cost. Strain to link. Mark may remain. Aaron and Maya do not look away. We accept, the third voice says. They move. Under the core, the iron sand rings wake again. They pour a thin dust into a wide circle around the ring, small, even grains like a mist of black snow. Aaron shapes the dust with invisible fields into a soft bowl. Maya tilts the bowl a finger to starward. The last kept hull plate, the promise plate, slides out to become the bowl's seed. It shines dull and brave. External borders 12, the archivist reports. Approach vectors, scattered. Maya opens side vents along 3 corridors. Cold gas blooms like fog. Borders hit the fog and slow, hands reaching. The ring tilts local gravity by a spoon's weight. Feet slip, claws scrape. No one dies. Everyone stops. Inside the link, heat climbs like summer. The bands around their arms hum. The column water stands very still, then ripples once. Star pulse in 1 minute, the archivist says. Flagship shot in 55 seconds. Give us the convoy, the third voice says. A screen shows the 6 dots and the slow freighter Lark. Hull scars glow, then cool. Someone on the Lark taps a mic. A tiny melody drifts in. It is the Schoolfield song again. Not loud, not perfect. Human Aaron's chest tightens. Maya smiles with her eyes. The halo tightens in their hands. Focus points. Aaron thinks. He draws 3 bright marks in space with the field coils, like pins on invisible fabric. Flow lines, Maya thinks. She threads those pins with gentle curves, so energy will follow the path like water. The halo is ready to try. Gate hears. The archivist whispers. A second screen opens, lines like the ones inside the water column. Far out, a quiet doorway glows a little more. If you ask, the gate will lend silence for counting. 3 breaths only. Silence is precious. A pause with no noise from the star, no tremor from the ring, a perfect moment for aim. Ask, the third voice says. But not yet. Timer, 00036. The flagship throat turns white. The ring shield rises to 81% and holds shape. Heat climbs the walls like thin branches of fire. Heat margin very thin, the archivist warns. Halo drift 0.4 degrees. Maya nudges the bowl. Aaron trims the pins by the width of a hair. The halo locks. Now, the third voice says. Borrow silence. The gate answers. For 3 breaths, everything is still. No rumble. No hiss, no hum. The world is exact. The third voice draws a line through space with a thought. The line runs from the flagship throat to the halo bowl, then down to the star's edge where a flare waits like a red wave. The line ends in fire, not in the convoy. Hold, the third voice says. Silence ends. Light returns. The star breathes. The ring shakes. The flagship fires. A spear of white screams toward them. Shield 86%, the archivist says. Impact in 4, 3. Breathe, the third voice tells them both. It is the same breath they learned in part 4. Together. 1 rhythm. 2, 1. Contact. The spear hits the shield. The shield sings like a glass bell. The halo catches the spear's front and pulls it a finger left. The promise plate at the bowl's heart glows red and does not break. The iron dust shivers and holds shape. The spear bends. It does not stop. It changes path. The bow of light slides along the bowl, then tips starward and drops into the flare like an arrow into a river. The flare swallows it whole. The star answers with a bright wave. Space blooms with clean fire far from the convoy. The Lark does not burn. The 6 dots do not vanish. They live. Deflection 81%, the archivist says. Remainder scattered. Convoy safe. Inside the link, the cost arrives. A hard white ache cuts through both of them, between thought and bone, where the link lives. They feel each other's pain. They carry it together. The bands tighten, not to hurt, but to keep them here. Link strain, the archivist says, voice low. You can finish. But scars may remain. Aaron holds the pain as if it is weight on his shoulders. Maya holds it as if it is a hot stone in her hands. The third voice does not shake. Finish, it says. The flagship staggers. Its throat goes from white to angry red. Its cutters across the fleet go dim, then cough back to life. The ship rolls to aim again. Smaller escorts twitch around it, unsure. New icons bloom over the flagship on the screen. Weakness marks. Born from the halo bend, a cracked coil here, a hot seam there. A field wobble across the midline, measured force, the third voice says. We end this without ending them. Aaron changes the ring's orbit by the breadth of a book. Maya opens vents along a far corridor and turns them into a soft whistle. The halo bowl tilts a hair. The promise plate dims from red to dull orange and keeps its place, brave and heavy. The iron dust thins and reforms like a breath. Attitude good, the archivist says. Shield 74%. Heat falls. Borders contained. Speak to them, Maya thinks. The archivist opens a channel that is more than radio. It is the gate's old band, small and clear. The third voice speaks into it. Vire flagship, it says, not angry, not begging. You cannot cut us today. Your beam will bend. Your hooks will slip. Your borders will live. We will not kill you if you leave. We will not chase you if you turn. Silence again, not borrowed, but surprised. Veer do not talk, the story said. For years they did not. For years they broke and took. But the flagship hears the third voice and answers with a tone like a cracked bell. It is not a word. It is a weight. It means, prove it. The third voice proves it. The ring pulls a small thread of star wind across the flagship's nose. The wind touches a weak seam the halo showed them. It makes the ship shudder once like a cough. Lights on its spine flicker and return. No explosion. Just truth, see? The third voice says. We could end you. We choose not to. A long moment passes. Far away, the convoy turns its nose toward safety. The lark sings that little tune one more time, softer now, grateful. The flagship lowers its throat glow. One by one, the small escorts dim their cutters. Hooks retract from the ring's skin with little sparks. Borders stop clawing and wait. They are not friends. They are not family. But for this minute, they are not enemies. The archivist speaks in a voice that sounds like it is smiling. Clause 35, met, forever engine stable. Seed vault, green. Life support, green. Halo, holding with low loss. Heat slides out of the walls like tired breath. The iron dust falls back into the rings under the core. The promise plate drops home and cools. The shield stays up, lower now, enough. Inside the link, the ache softens, but it does not go away. A mark is set. Aaron tries a small motion with his right hand. It is slow. Maya tries to recall the exact shade of a red warning she saw. It does not come. Tiny things, not life, but real. Scars, the archivist says gently. Not wounds. You will learn around them. They accept this. The gate opens a little wider. Lines like water pour into the screen. Behind them is a large dark circle with a thin light rim, like an eye half awake. The far gate hears the halo, the archivist says. It invites you to step, pair. Many rings forgot. Many roads closed. With your cord, we can wake them. The third voice is quiet for a breath. It is not a god. It is a choice. Not yet, it says. We keep a promise first, the ring understands. A small pipe opens from the safe cell. It rolls the three trapped Veer back into a neutral corridor and opens an outer hatch. The wind pushes them gently to the skin. A soft tether line presents itself like a hand. No one dies. Everyone leaves. The flagship turns. It shows its back. It does not bow. It does not blink. It goes. Its escorts follow, small and quick. The space around the ring grows wide again. The convoy's leader speaks on a human channel, voice shaky and warm. Ring, whoever you are. Thank you, the third voice answers. Simple. Fly safe. Hold each other, screens dim. The core is quiet, not dead quiet. Safe quiet. The kind after a long storm when floors are damp and window glass smells clean. The timer on the wall, the one that started at 35 minutes, reaches 0, zeros and stops. It does not buzz. It does not shout. It simply rests. The bands loosen from their arms and chests, but do not fully release. The link hum keeps a low note like a friend who stays in the room. Aaron hears Maya's breath as if it were his own. Maya feels Aaron's calm as if it were hers. If they try to step away, the bands will allow it, but the echo will remain. Forever is not a chain, the archivist says softly. It is a thread. It does not choke. It holds. Aaron looks at Maya through the clear water of the column. Maya looks back. Their faces are tired. Their eyes are bright. The ache is there. The work was worth it. Above them, the gate's light grows from a line to a door. Clause 35 accepted across 7 sleeping paths. the archivist says. Fargate requests forever pairs. The third voice lifts its head again. The storm is over. The next road waits. After the fire, it says, we choose. The core lights shift to warm. The halo dissolves into the old iron rings. The promise plate sits in its socket, a quiet coin of dull metal with a small 35 scratched on its face. Outside, the star rolls and breathes. Inside, two humans stand as one. The storm fades. Heat lowers. The shield hum turns soft. Aaron stands. Maya stands. The bands loosen but do not fall. The echo of the link stays, warm and steady like a small light in the chest. Around them, the core is calm. The column water is clear glass again. The iron rings sleep. The promise plate sits in its socket, dull and brave. The little 35 scratch still there. Clause 35. Complete, the archivist says. The voice sounds human now, not a copy, a choice. Forever engine stable. Link, soft open. You may step out. You may step in again. It will listen. They do not rush. They look at the room that tried them, helped them, trusted them. Aaron touches the band with 2 fingers, gentle. Maya rests her palm on the column glass. The ring hum answers like a purr. A new tone floats from the ceiling. 3 notes like a doorbell from a kind house. A small hatch opens near the floor. Inside, a box waits, glossy black size of a book. On the lid, the same earth letters glow. After 35, Maya lifts it. The box warms in her hands. It opens without a latch. Inside lies a coin of pale metal, thicker than a badge, thin as courage. On one face, a ring, a star, and 2 small chairs of light. On the other, forever pair, Aaron and Maya. Under the names, a short line. When friends choose, gates here. The token is yours, the archivist says. It will open doors when you are far. It will sing your chord to sleeping machines. Aaron laughs once under his breath. He has never wanted medals. He wants working tools. This is both. Status outside, he asks. Screens bloom and answer. The convoy turns into safe dark. The lark flashes a last light and sends the small field song again, softer now, like a smile heard from a distance. The Veer flagship withdraws, slow and watchful. Its escorts follow. On the ring skin, a small thing gleams where the closest boarding hooks scrape the hull, a vire claw, broken and left behind. Near it, scratched lines, not their writing, but neat, careful, not prey. Maya sees it and feels a new space open behind her ribs. Not peace, not yet. A door. She pockets the coin. Aaron pockets the broken Veer claw. He will not wear it. He will keep it where it will teach. The gate screen brightens. Lines pour like rain and then form a circle, a door of thin white light in far space. Around the circle, faint symbols rise like dust motes. The column water echoes it, making a small ring inside the glass, like a pupil inside an eye. The far gate is listening, the archivist says. It invites. It also warns. The light shifts. A faint shape shows inside the ring. Not a ship, not a person, just a pattern that eats patterns. It moves like static on old video. Where it passes, lines go thin and then vanish. Old human code sleeps near the far gate. The archivist goes on. A guard from a lost war. It was made to erase enemy signals. Time made it hungry. Now it erases anything that sings too loud. We call it the quiet. Maya frowns. Aaron's shoulders set. A thing that eats music is a thing that hates people. Humans are music. Can the ring fight it? Aaron asks. The ring can shield here, the archivist answers, but not there. The quiet lives beyond me. It eats noise. It respects shape. It fears true chords. Pair chords are clean. Yours is clean. Maya understands. The link is not just power. It is shape. 2 minds that choose one rhythm make a line the quiet cannot chew. What price? Aaron asks. Marks, the archivist says. More small scars. Not death if you are careful. Not easy if you are not. Silence stands with them for a moment. It is not heavy. It is clear. They look at the ring. They look at the gate. They look at each other. Before we go, Maya says, we keep our promise. A panel opens on the far wall. The safe cell releases air with a soft sigh. 3 wires slide into a clean tube. The tube lowers to a skin hatch. The hatch opens to the dark. A small tether floats out to meet them. They catch it and push away, calm and slow. No chase, no strike. The cell door seals and marks itself returned in quiet letters. The ring dims its lights to warm. The archivist speaks, very soft. Thank you. Aaron calls the convoy on a human band. We are done here, he says. You are safe. Tell Earth we need more pairs. People who choose, not rank. Not blood, choice, copy, a voice says. It is the lark. It is tired and happy. We will tell them, and... Thank you, Maya smiles. Her smile is small and real. They turn back to the bands. Last measure, the archivist says. Because forever is choice, not chain. One breath apart, one breath together. The bands open. The link cools to a thin thread. Aaron steps back one pace. Maya steps back one pace. The echo is quieter now. It feels like the warm aftertouch of a hand. The archivist waits one breath. Return? It asks. They step in. The bands close. The thread warms to a line again. It is easy. The choice is easy. They both feel the yes, forever confirmed, the archivist says. Not force, habit. The gate brightens, like it heard the word habit and liked it. Claim your ring, the archivist adds. Formal now, old ritual old. Speak your names. Speak your bond. Aaron looks through the column at Maya. Maya looks back. Their voices come as the third voice, clear and simple. I am Aaron, he says. I keep maps. I am Maya, she says. I keep motion. Together, the third voice says, we keep the door. The core answers. Light rises under their boots. The token coin in Maya's pocket warms and hums. On every corridor wall, on every old plate, on the rim of the promise plate, new letters appear. Forever pair, Aaron and Maya, ring 5-5. The 5-5 is the ring's old name. It wears their name now too. It does not make them owners. It makes them caretakers. The ring gently pushes their chairs toward the gate side of the core. A thin path opens in the column water. It is a road of light. Ready? The archivist asks. Aaron thinks of earth sky, blue and low. He thinks of the lark's small song. He thinks of the veer claw in his pocket and what it could mean. He nods. Maya thinks of a school field, wild grass, and a friend who cut a lock to save her in a storm. She nods. They lean into the bands. The third voice speaks to the gate. Far gate, it says. We hear you. We come as a pair. We bring shape, not noise. Teach us your quiet. The gate opens a finger more. The room grows a little colder and a little bigger. The light path flows forward like a slow river. First, though, the archivist sends a message outward on all safe bands. It is short. It is clear. It carries their coin cord. Call to humans. Forever. Pairs needed. Simple minds. Quiet courage. Age is a number. Choice is the key. Bring trust. Bring breath. Bring hands. Somewhere far, that message will hit a small desk, and a tired person will sit up and smile because Hope just walked in with work boots on. Aaron takes one more breath of this ring's air. Maya listens one more time to the low purr of the core. They both touch the promise plate with a glove, light and thankful. They look at each other. They step. Light folds. The core room spins into a long tunnel of stars. The token coin hums like a bee. The claw in Aaron's pocket feels heavy in a good way. The third voice holds them steady, even as the world changes shape. Behind them, ring 5-5 watches like a proud parent. The archivist whispers into the clear dark, Go well, pair. We will keep the seeds. We will keep the breath. You keep the road. Ahead, the far gate grows from a thin ring into a door. A soft static moves across it, the quiet, hungry and blind. It turns to meet the sound of them. It tastes the cord. It pauses. For the first time in a long time, the quiet does not eat. It listens. Two humans, both 35, hold their line and move forward. The light does not burn them. The dark does not scare them. The future is not a wall. It is a door with their names on it. End of Book 1. Signal continues. Forever pairs needed on the far gate.